It is.
I'm a little tired. Did I mention that?
You did mention that you're a little tired. You stop staying up all night partying over at Gusto's. You might be tired.
Welcome to the Barre Beat Podcast, live from Fly on the Wall Productions, Main Street, Barre, Vermont. In-house tonight, we have the ever-lovely Raylene.
Good
I need to
evening,
think
Michael.
of an R one, like the
No, you don't.
ravishing Raylene, or
I don't know about that.
think what else? Think of another adjective. Somebody pull up an adjective for me with an R.
Oh,
ravishing sounds really.
You could call me radical like others
Radical.
do.
Radical Raylene.
I'm just saying.
Ravishing sounds that's not inappropriate. I shouldn't say that because that doesn't sound. It sounds inappropriate.
You
when
know.
I say it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not radical. You're not a radical.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't have city council tomorrow night, so nothing exciting on that side. However, we do have a school board meeting on Thursday night, and
Woo-hoo!
Now that I'm
And that's super exciting.
it's always super exciting.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I did today.
Yes.
I spent an hour talking to somebody from the Gallup. They do employee engagement, and I reached out to them asking them for some assistance because there's some significant morale issues in our school system.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to reach out to them because they work with National Life Group. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know if that's insider trading stuff. Trading.
I wouldn't think so.
No, you don't think so?
I wouldn't think so.
Either way, they do an amazing job for the company I work for. And so I reached out to them and spent an hour. Nancy LeClaire was on there with me. And yeah, I think that I'm going to push that to the school board and see whether or not we could try to get that taken care of there.
Didn't they talk at one point about doing some sort of retreat or something like that was a morale builder and an aid to kind of turn things back around? So
they I know that the union did a survey, but it was not shared with the school board. This would certainly be shared with the school board. So
that would be a good idea.
I do agree. Need to try to help our teachers out there. So because they're struggling, and there's morale issues, and we don't know for certain why, and just need to take care of that. But yeah, it was an interesting hour. I enjoyed it very much.
Well, good.
So we can just jump right in. I can give an update on the policy committee tonight, which was stunningly exciting.
It was.
So exciting.
So exciting that you've done nothing but tell me that you're tired and want to fall asleep since you've gotten here.
Yes, it was that exciting. It was that exciting. We were talking about like the personnel recruitment, selection, appointment, and background check, which we kind of like deleted half of it that was presented because we were like, that's procedure. We're going to dump all of that. All that stuff goes bye-bye. And it was, the most contentious part was we're going to force our teachers to have bias and anti-racist training, which sounds really like when you say anti-racist training, everybody thinks, well, why wouldn't you? Google it. It's not what you think it is.
Right.
It's like Abram X. Kendi stuff.
Yeah, it's
a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that was like a split vote on that one. Because like the folks were afraid of Michael coming after the woke agenda. Yes.
yes.
Yes, in fact, yes.
Yes,
I'm coming after the woke agenda.
Yes. You are, and that's what the people that voted for you are probably counting on you doing.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Either that or they were like, maybe we shouldn't have voted for you.
No, I don't think so.
There is a huge difference. There really
Yes,
is.
there is. Educate yourself. If
100%.
You haven't, please
because
Google it.
And as I said in the meeting, it's a semantic overload, and the term sounds like, oh yeah, well, why wouldn't I, right? But it goes well beyond what you think it is. Like, I grew up where, we judge people based on the content of their character, right? Not the color of their skin or all that other stuff. The content, right? If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. If you're a good person, you're a good person. Has nothing to do with all that other stuff. But yeah, so that's where I'm sure somebody's going to write an email saying how terrible I am for not doing that.
Well, hopefully they'll educate themselves.
They won't.
So
I'm
that
sure
they understand exactly what it is and why you feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
But again, not everyone's going to have the same opinion, and that's okay.
It is.
But you have very much have the right to fight for yours and for the people that elected you.
Yep. And it was kind of interesting, like when we were talking about talk about difference of opinions, and certainly I was just like, and make the motion and just like move on. Let's just, and we know we're going to fall on this, so let's just move on and not waste our time on it.
Get it done and over with.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So, yeah. Then we've got for the meeting, there were two letters that I want to talk about in the packet.
Oh, okay.
Yes. One of them was from a kid.
So for the school board.
For the
now
school
we're
board.
away from the policies and we're onto the school board.
Now we're onto the school board packet.
Okay.
So the first one is from Isabel Ciccinelli, or is it Cicchini? I can't remember. I'd have to go back. It was either Ciccinelli or Cicchini. I think it was Ciccinelli. But either way, she was talking. She had done a survey, and 8% said it was about the board and having kids come to the school board. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was a kid, I didn't care about the school board.
Right.
And quite frankly, children shouldn't care about the school board.
No, children shouldn't have to care about a lot of things that we're making them care about these days.
I know. I mean, it's great and all, but man, I remember growing up, I was just wondering where my next cigarette was going to come from.
For real. But the thing that's part of the problem, even with behavior, I think, is that all of these added stresses, if there's already a little bit of stress and then you add all of this other unnecessary stress of things that are really, they don't need to be a part of.
Yeah. I mean, it's great, when kids come and they're like involved in it. I do feel like, I don't know how I feel because when I was a kid, I didn't care. The only time I went before the school board was when I was trying to get back in school after I dropped out.
When you were in trouble. Yeah. When shit hit the fan, then you went before the school board.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I think it's good to, to have the kids always know that there's an open line of communication, that they can write you a letter, that, I think that's good to let them know that that's there, but I don't necessarily think that they need to be worried about can you imagine kids having to sit through some of the 3-4 hour meetings that we have sat through and watched people act like children? I mean, that is basically what I've seen since I've been going to these meetings. I wouldn't want a kid to sit there and watch that.
No, that would not be fun.
And then you tell them, don't act like that. Don't be a bully. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then have them come to a school board meeting. Oh, boy, that's not good.
I don't think it's going to be a problem now. We've got a new chair, and I was super excited about that. In case people didn't know, we voted for. Have we talked since?
No, not here. We have not.
We have not.
We have not.
So Giuliano Ceccanelli was elected as chair. No, I think we have talked about that.
We have.
I think so. Anyway, so she did a survey about why kids aren't going to the board meeting. 8% complexity of the language is built. it said 8% said that, they didn't understand what was happening. Lack of knowledge on the issues on the agenda is 25%, 30%. They were allowed to, by the way, select 2 options. So when you get into we're up into 200%, I'm like, well, that's the reason why.
Right.
A lack of knowledge of issues on the agenda, then the 30%, intimidated by board meetings, which I can understand, kids coming to a board meeting, it would be intimidating. 50%, I don't know when the board meetings are and how to access them. And then 66% was, I have a full schedule. That would have been me. I was too busy doing all sorts of things that we shall not discuss growing up. Things that I do regret.
So you went from badass to...
Yes,
I don't know.
I did. I really did. We were actually... So after the council meeting last Tuesday, we went out to... Gusto's. And it was Teddy and Amel and I invited Michael. Well, I mean, Michael was there when I sent out talked to Amel about the invitement. He didn't show up. Bad Michael. So anyway, and we were talking and like these two goody two shoes, both of them. I mean, they were just like all the kids that I would hated, but I would have never been friends with. They were like the really goody two shoe kids. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, all the things that I've done in my past. I'm so glad that people don't remember, or that they remember but they don't say. So I appreciate that to people that remember and don't say anything. Thank you very much. So then there was another letter.
Now I'm going to need to search for some of your high school buddies now. I'm just telling you right now, straight up. Prepare yourself.
I'd prefer you didn't. I'm not a real big fan of my old days. You can ask. Sarah was in. Oh no, she wasn't. That's right. She wasn't in school when I was there. Sarah.
Yeah, I wasn't in school when you were there either.
No. Yeah, so, and then there's another letter, which, as a side note, I had talked to Giuliano Ceccanelli because I just think reading letters for people is really frustrating, and I think it's stupid. But, and I told him that I wanted to read one of the letters that came in, and then I wanted him to, end the practice. In the letter that came in, that had been requested to be read, was one that was super negative towards me.
It was
wicked, nasty, negative. Yeah.
Well, who was this from?
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to name any names.
Well, isn't it listed in the packet who it's from anyways?
It is, but we don't need to list any names on the very beat. But they were upset about the code of ethics thing. And I didn't sign it because I was concerned that, the commitments, I mean, what I do here could affect what the board does, because it could fire somebody up on this, and then they show up at a board meeting and they get angry, sort of like sending out emails, having people come to the board meeting, because you want to attack the school board. So at least I'm admitting that there's a potential that I could fire people up versus not admitting to the fact that I'm just going to send out an email to all my little friends and have them come to the, anyway, whatever. That's a whole different story. We won't
send emails. We'll just talk about it on the microphone.
We'll just talk about it on the microphone, and then people will come to say, hey, I don't think that's a good thing. So I didn't want to sign it for that. And there was a letter. The person was upset that I was making money from the Barre beat, and I just have to say,
you make money?
I know. Apparently, I make money.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, no, I don't make any money.
Well, you sure as hell forgot to tell me.
I know, right?
Yeah, you drag my ass down here every Monday night for nothing.
For the record, folks, I don't make any money.
Oh, you did buy me a thing of creamer once.
Once, I only did it once. But yeah, no, I do not make any money off from this show.
That's hysterical.
I wish I did, and Well, actually, that's not true. I don't want to make money off of it.
No, you've never tried either.
Yeah,
You've just wanted to literally do it to be informative. I've asked you many times, do you want me to see if I can get you sponsors just like we do at Aired Out, whatever, and you always say no.
Yeah. Because
every time.
The only thing that I've ever considered was
the Patreon,
do something,
right?
Well, the Patreon, but it never made any money off from that either.
Right.
But doing an advertisement in the beginning and then that money just go to Aired Out, and I don't see any of that money because I'm using your equipment, right? And I appreciate the ability to do that. So all that being said,
yeah,
I don't make any money, and there's no conflict of interest.
If anything, you spend it.
Yeah, I spend a lot of money. There's no doubt about that.
To have what you have here, what you need.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
that's funny.
For the folks, just so that everybody knows, there is a conflict of interest policy, which does allow for school board members to have a hearing and to determine whether or not. So that's fine. Let them have a hearing. I don't care, because conflicts. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have any children in the school system. So that's a conflict, right? I mean, the whole conflict of interest thing, it's such a.
Right. The list could be a mile long.
Yeah.
We
just gotta, it is what it is. So, yeah. So they're going to have on the agenda, which I didn't quite know what it is, and I'm wondering if it's going to come out in the addendum, the Barre Partnership Kindness Project. I probably should have gotten.
So I've read a little bit about it on the Barre Partnership page, but not enough so that I want to try to explain what it is. And is it past Tracy's bedtime? We could always call her. And yeah, we need to look into that more.
So, Connie, the school board does Google Meets, and the city council does Zoom. So that's the reason why there's two different ones. But that's what that is. Yeah. So they hadn't switched. The school board uses Google Workspace, which is a high-end thing for Google. The closest thing is if you're an individual, you can have Google One, which is what I have. Allows me to have 2 terabytes of stuff. And
now you're talking in another language.
This is yes.
Right, Connie?
Yeah.
There's
2 terabytes, versus 15 gigabytes. Or no. Yeah, 2 terabytes. Yeah, that's right. Yes, they have always had the Google Meets for the school board and Zoom for city council. Sending emails from personal computer about other board members. Now that's a conflict. Yep.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. We're going to be hiring Adam Rosen. Actually, we're doing a transfer. So congratulations to him. He's being promoted or transferring to Director of Special Services. Nice. He was a special educator. There's a potential change to Universal Pre-K, and there's going to be an update on that. And budget time roundtable. So,
then do we know, and the new vote date, correct? Or location? Has that been fixed?
So this is what I think is in the plan, and I'm gonna vehemently oppose it. They're planning on revoting on the 9th, which is fine and dandy, except for the fact that they're changing the voting location from the Barre Auditorium to the Labor Hall. And you're like, well, why is that a problem? Because it depresses the vote in Barre City. Because most people, they hear voting day, okay, let's go to the auditorium. What will end up happening is they'll go to the auditorium and they'll be like, well, where is everybody? Next thing you know, they're like, well, I don't know where to go. Or they'll see that there's a sign that says go down to the labor hall. And that could make it so that somebody says, ugh, never mind, I don't want to do that, which is wildly not okay. And it's extremely unfair to Barre City. And they're making it so that Barrytown has, their normal May 9th thing, and then depressing the vote in Barre City. And it just really frustrates me. And they may wish they hadn't done that.
Could you have it? Could you have it up at the auditorium and just have it? I mean, could you set up those big, huge, like army tents outside up there or anything?
There's an event going on up there, so we won't be able to. And it's just really, to me, I find it wildly frustrating. It's just, it's just
too
not
bad
okay.
you couldn't have like the back side of the parking lot. Keep the event on the right side and the.
So, and Connie asked what I would prefer. I would prefer the same date, but the same. I would prefer the same locations, because if you say,
can you change
this particular
the date, though?
day, yeah, we can change the date. So I assume that's what we're going to be talking about on Thursday. It really should be just another Tuesday. That's what it really should be. And I understand that it's, combining with Barrytown stuff, but when you depress the vote, I really have a problem with that. And how can you say someone is depressing the vote? Because, Nancy, when you have the normal election, that's fine. But when you have a special election, one, you're going to have less people come. And I can show you records on that.
Right.
But what really has a hamper on voting is by saying a different day and a different location. So Barre City is going to have a significant depression of voting. And that just doesn't feel right for me. It's not equitable. I hate that word. But yeah, so that's we'll see what happens from there. Yeah. It is what it is. I don't think
maybe I'm going to have to stand up at the auditorium with the sign that says that the voting's at the Labor Hall and give out coupons for donuts down there at the same time or something.
Yeah. And
if you go vote, you can have a donut.
Michael says, I've lived here for 20 years and we've never done it, right? Like I've never Yeah. So that's a good point, Michael. The Labor Hall. So if as you go down Main Street, there's the Chinese restaurant, and then there's M&T Bank, used to be KeyBank, or not KeyBank. Used to be People's United. Yeah. So that Granite Street, when you go down Granite Street, it's the red brick building down there, and it's just not. I just don't think it's very fair to the city. So.
Yeah, and the parking and the road, the whole thing, it's just not.
Yeah, we've done it once.
I'd rather set up tents in the old Soup and Greens parking lot at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, yeah, so would I, because at least you can get closer to it. It's behind the
and
Restore.
You're like way more apparent than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one year where we had to change the location because there was a gas leak at the Bugbee Avenue, and it had an effect on votes. It really did, and people complained that they didn't know where to go, and it was fully, there was information out there, but it's unfortunate. We'll see where it goes from there. I'll be fighting that. I don't know if my fighting will make a difference, but for those that want the budget to pass, that may not be the best decision to do that, because you depress the vote and you might not like what you're going to get. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes down. So we'll have that conversation. And then So the Heritage Festival. So they're doing something with the Heritage Festival. They're going to do the popcorn thing like they did the last year.
Yep.
They purchased a popcorn popper, and there's 250 branded bags. So everybody can see that, and we got a Heritage booth that's all paid for.
Nice.
So I don't know who's going to be manning that, but I assume it will be board members.
Right. I was going to say you'll probably take turns, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, though. If I'm popping popcorn, I may eat it all.
You'll want to.
I do like my popcorn.
Well, maybe you can make balloons while somebody else is popping popcorn or something.
Balloons is difficult with that many children. I'm just going to state it. It's not easy.
Even when they come over just to get popcorn?
Children.
It is a lot of children.
A lot of children. Alice says she'll be there. So the first reading of board meetings, agenda preparation and distribution. So part of that policy is changing location to Spalding High School Library permanently, which is really good, right? Like bumping around. We talk about messing with the vote, right? Depressing the vote. You're depressing people coming out and speaking. It's good to do that once in a while.
Right. But when you never know where the meeting's going to be and you're always trying to search it out before you go. And
Yep. And we're changing the days to Wednesday, which is really cool because now people that are on the board that want to go to Thunder Road, Terry.
Yep. Or have other meetings, city council, can do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is going to be nice for them. And then, there's the first reading of, I feel like this is not all that exciting. Are you excited about this?
It's a school board meeting, Michael. There's nothing exciting about it.
Nothing exciting in city council either. But
right. There's nothing exciting about any of that stuff. But it's part of life.
Am I getting tired? Is that what the problem is?
No, but it's part of life. It's part of the everyday life stuff that people still need to be informed about, even if it's not exciting.
So there's first reading English learners.
So stop yawning while you're doing it.
First reading of English learners, that's going to be on there. I will say, so there's this policy about the, helping children with, it's not their first language is English. I'm just saying that based on proficiency scores. And that's not funny.
No.
But, and that's actually really sad when you think about, English as a first language. I think that, some of our kids are struggling. Like I know that, I hate to say this, but I know that our proficiency rates in Barre City are like super low, like uncomfortably low. And we won't know those numbers until later. But it's really concerning. But so we're going to be talking about the English learners as a second language. First reading of selection of instructional materials, rescind policy D32, selection of instruction materials. So we're just basically replacing. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Anything exciting for you? No.
Well, as far as what?
No, just anything.
No.
You have anything on your docket?
No. We're busy all week on Aired Out. We're busy. We're like, it's insane schedule all the time. Yes.
You want to talk about Trump being arrested?
He hasn't been arrested yet, but he keeps telling everybody he's going to be arrested. And so far, those facts have been unfounded by anybody. Everybody's searching to see what he's talking about. And so far, so we'll have to wait and see what tomorrow is going to happen, I guess, because he says that's when he's going to be arrested. I didn't know they alert you ahead of time now.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So,
but they did say the legal experts experts that were weighing in did say that if he were to be arrested, it would literally be them telling him to turn himself in. It wouldn't be they're going to his house, storming his house, dragging him out in cuffs by his hair or anything, because then it would come off anyways, because it's just, toupee thing. But anyway, but literally, and so, but he and I heard it. I did hear it this time. I heard it from his own mouth. He's like, you people need to protest this. He's telling people to protest. But he did not say be violent. He just said protest. And so, but people are already getting all amped up and yeah.
Well,
I just want it to all be over. I'm so sick of the whole, I'm sick of January 6th stuff. And now I'm thinking, oh, great, we're going to have 2 more years of this shit. No.
Do you want to take a guess on how much I'm interested in this as a general rule?
As much as me?
This is true.
Yeah.
I'll say this. You know what I have to do? What I'm going to do tomorrow? Do you know what I'm going to do tomorrow?
What?
I'm going to get up, go to work.
Yeah.
Because that's what I have to do. So, Connie, the banking mess that's out there,
yeah, I'm more concerned about that.
So I don't have any update. So folks that are watching on the Barre City Community fan page, obviously we're going off the rails now.
Right.
I'm not going to shut it off.
And I can't see the Barre because I'm on Barre Beat. So
I don't know who's where, but everybody should be going over to the Barre Beat. Because eventually we're going to shut off the Barre City Community fan page. Just because
when Raylene goes off the rails, Michael gets nervous about who is listening.
And we are talking about national politics, and usually we don't do that.
People will survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
We're all adults, I think.
I say people should switch over from the Barre City Community fan page to the Barre Beat, and next thing you know, 4 people jump on the Barre City Community fan page.
Of course.
But yeah, so I don't know anything about the banking situation. What do you have for us?
Well, I think another bank folded today. I have not.
Really? What
yes.
bank?
I would have to look again to see the name, but I believe another bank folded today. My good friend Craig McDermott was talking about it, and then some prices in precious metals tanked, and yes, several things like that went on today.
Did not know that.
Yes.
Should I be checking my
I don't know.
cryptocurrency?
I don't know that we in Vermont need to be super, super alarmed unless you have, but as Tom kind of explained it to us all the other night at council meeting a little bit about why he didn't feel it was a need for us to panic about it yet. But, yeah.
So all I see is that New York Community Bank to buy failed Signature Bank.
Yeah.
So that's them buying it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I think they bought more than one. I think I'll have to look. Hold
I mean,
on a second. I can tell you.
The president has stated that no matter what happens, we're going to cover it as the United States, which is really dangerous. We should just, ultimately.
Oh my gosh!
The way that it goes is that it should be. Unfortunately,
I can't even.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So now we're really going to go deep.
If you have $250,000 more than in excess of $250,000, I'm just going to say that I understand your pain. I cannot empathize with you because I might have $250 in my account if I'm lucky. With that being said, what happens when you do a run on a bank, it doesn't mean that the money disappears unless the problem is running on the bank, right? Don't run on the bank and we don't have this problem. Because they buy bonds, and when the interest rates go down, and there's a run on the bank, they have to sell those bonds to make up that money. The money is still on the books, but they sell the bonds at a loss to pay out the money. And that's where the problem comes in. And the answer to this is just don't make a run on the bank. Not that it makes a difference in Barre City. There's very few people in the city that have more than $1,000 in their account.
Well, I sure as hell don't. I'll tell you. I'll pull up my bank account if you want me to, and show you. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's.
I definitely.
We're going to be okay though.
And Tom explained why. Like he explained that it would have to get really, really bad for people here to have to start worrying about their money.
Right. But you could get into cryptocurrency. Let's see. I have.
I don't even know what the hell that is. I'm just telling you right now.
It's fake money.
Right. And so why would you even want to have fake money?
Let's see.
Is that like Monopoly?
It went up $20 since the last time I looked it up. So I'm doing pretty good.
Then that's all right then.
It's down from like the amount that I had.
You know what else is up?
Last year. What's that?
Marijuana stock.
Marijuana stock is up?
Yeah.
Is that because of the gummies? I'm a gummy bear.
For the producers, it's yeah.
Huh.
JD's making bank.
Selling marijuana?
No, because he's owned stock in marijuana in like the Canadian, like this big, huge grower or producer in Canada. For years, he's actually owned it. And now, like, it's big. It's a big deal. Like, he's not making bank, but it's finally, like, actually showing a return.
What I hear Raylene saying is that JD Green is in the drug business. Is that what everybody's hearing?
Don't even. Oh, my gosh. People will run with that, damn it.
They probably will.
Oh, gosh. And he talks about it anyways. He always talks about that, that he had done that years
business?
and years and years ago. He had bought stock in that when, who knows, back in Woodstock because we're that old.
We don't have much to talk about. Should we talk about our first times? Getting high?
I don't know. Did you sign up the Barre City Community Fan page yet?
I have not. I know it's legal now. I know.
It is. But we could talk about the fact that even though it's legal, we're still not able to use it for so many things. For instance, my big gripe about it right now is that we have a huge opioid crisis, which we all know about. And they allow that people that are struggling to are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry.
You shouldn't have taken a hit that big. And
I know,
you wouldn't have that problem. But people that are struggling with opioid addiction can go to the clinic and they can get methadone and they can get, bute, and they can get other things to help them curb and to help them fight their addiction. If you're a cocaine user, like my son, and you are somebody who is so addicted to crack cocaine, and he says, he's got all of these other things going on, mental health issues, physical issues, whatever. And he says, if I smoke pot, I'll be fine. And it's not allowed.
Really?
Right, because it's not approved federally. And the courts follow guideline from the feds, even though it's a state court. So it's super unfortunate that even though it's legal and it's been known to have medical value as far as treatment for some, all kinds of things, cancer and mental health and whatever, he can't use it. There's no options. You just go cold turkey, do what you got to do, and you do not use it. And the argument could be, and I I struggle with this a little bit because of what it is, but the argument could be, well, alcohol's legal too. And so they could say, if I can just drink beer, I won't do crack cocaine. But there's no proven medical, there's no proven facts that alcohol can help you medically, where in marijuana, they actually have proven that.
I do know that the Bible says a little bit of the wine will lighten the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's what it says.
Yeah.
But I say that, and I'm actually like wicked anti all drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. I can't.
Right.
I have a concern about
because you went
like,
from
clouding
Billy
my
Badass
mind.
Michael
Yes.
to, yeah, I'm a saint and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a.
You're born
I made a
again.
yes. So that being said, I'm just not into that stuff at all.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you know what?
But it's just hard
Although
to
I will
have that
say,
happen, though.
there is an argument for a libertarian stance on drugs in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Portugal, and somebody can do Google
That
check me on that.
legalized them.
Yes,
Straight across the board.
Straight across the board, and there was a significant increase, and then there was an increase of problems, and then it like leveled out.
Right.
And
now they see next to none because
Right.
it's just become this.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's similar to alcohol where it's regulated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would much rather have somebody getting cocaine from a doctor than from the guy on the street that's also
gonna
lacing
lacing it
it
with
with
fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah.
Yeah, fentanol or
Yeah.
xylazine or anything else that
Bleach.
they think they're going to put
Whatever
in it.
else they put in.
Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes to
Yeah.
think that. Yeah.
It's sad, and
Yeah.
there is an argument, and you
Yeah.
could probably convince me to consider it. Not doing the stuff, but to go down the libertarian road
Mm-hmm.
on that. It would be a hard sell still,
Yeah.
but you could get closer than other things. Oh, it's Tess Taylor. Hey, Tess.
And it's a hard argument for everyone.
Did you see her dog?
Yes.
It's a Labradoodle.
They are the cutest ever.
So for those that don't know,
love Labradoodles. I told you that.
they are adorable. For those that don't know, I lost my dog 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And it's been a real struggle, and with trying to. Is that what the name of her dog is? Jordy? Is it Jordy? Jordy?
Wasn't he in the parade?
Probably.
Yeah,
But
he was.
So I've been trying to get a new dog through rescues, and let me just tell you, the frustration level that I have is beyond comprehension with rescues. They're like, we can't give you this dog because you don't have a fenced in property. I'm like, well, I got Fosco without a fenced property. Why? Because I didn't go through a rescue, and I'm just half tempted to just purchase a dog and move on.
And you're a good pet owner, so if you take care of your dog, it doesn't necessarily. People in the city, in New York City, do they have a fenced-in property? No, they have a balcony. Some of them 100
Right.
feet off the ground, and they have to take an elevator to the dog park. Down the stairs and then walk to the dog park.
So,
it's stupid.
For those that are joining us, we have moved on, and we're just shooting the breeze at this moment in time.
They shouldn't make it that tough. It's especially if, these dogs need a home, a forever home, and stop being in a kennel. And
Right. So this one, oh man, I feel bad. Like I feel really bad because they really work hard to put dogs in homes. But from an end user perspective, from me, who did a really fantastic job with Vasco, who was a very high end dog with super prey drive. I mean, literally when I brought him home, when when my friend came over, I had to hold the dog back as he was lunging for him. And I got to the point where I could tell him to sit, and he would sit right next to my side and would not go towards anybody. He would be barking, but he would not go towards them. I had done a lot of work, and it cost me lots of money to get that training through Francisco Cervantes, which I highly recommend if you have a dog that you're having problems with. Francisco Cervantes is amazing. But anyway, so yeah, it's like this hoarding situation down in Texas where there was 27 dogs, German Shepherds. And I'm like, I apply for it, one of the dogs, and they're like, I'm sorry, you can't have it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like everything that I want, and you're telling me no.
Right, because I don't have a fence. Yeah.
I have a leash, and I can bring the dog out on the leash. Granted, I would take the dog out on a leash for about a year. And once I felt comfortable, I would let my dog loose, because I have, where I live, there's about half an acre, and it's large enough that I can send the dog up in the woods. It can do its business and then come back down, because that just makes my life easier, so I don't have to pick it up. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. I went to a friend's house today to look at their dog. She said it was a German Shepherd Husky mix. I got there and I'm like, that's all husky.
Yeah.
All husky.
Yep. But I showed you another one, so you never know.
Yeah.
There are some other.
There's some out there, and I'll eventually
irons
get it.
in the fire, and yeah.
But I would love to get another German Shepherd from the place that Vasco came from, which was down in Connecticut. It's they're professional breeders for canine units, and that's what Vasco was. Although the prey dry thing really drives me nuts, so I don't know if I want that. But anyway, yeah, so I don't really have anything.
You'll find something
beyond that. I don't know.
Me either.
I think we
went from school board to pot to dogs.
Yes. We just shoot the breeze tonight. That's all. If you guys like that,
it was
drop
like,
it in the comments.
It was like
we can
having a
shoot the
show
breeze
at
more
JD.
often. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Just like that.
All over the place.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that.
There's that. Back to city council next week. So there's no city council tomorrow night. But there will be next week, correct?
Correct. There will be city council next week.
So is that the new schedule every other week?
No,
now, or just
it was just some time off. There was nothing on there actually. So next week, I believe we're going to be talking about the Wheelock building, which I'm looking forward to, yet not looking forward to, because I've already made up my mind regarding the Wheelock building.
Well, I think a lot of people have, and that's,
Yeah. We shall see.
Some of you are very for the partnership owning it, and some of you are very much not for that.
This is true.
And so we'll have to see how it all plays out.
We'll have to see who wins that fight.
Right.
I'm hopeful I'm going to win it.
I hope so too.
But all right. Compared to the old days, council meets a lot less. Yeah. We used to meet every week, but that's because we were like doing things.
And right.
It's just, it feels like we're not really doing anything. And that sounds terrible.
Get your rest,
but
because when Tom's mayor, you're going to have to kick it into high gear, buddy.
I loved it when Tom was in gear. I loved it when Tom was mayor. I mean, it was one show after another. I mean, when we were done with City Place, we went on to Blanchard Block. We went on to this, that, and the other. It was amazing.
Right. Which was the Big Dig was first, though, right?
Yes. I wasn't really part of that. I just came in on that. But I was part of the Blanchard Block and part of the City Place. And there's so much opportunity, and he's going to be able to pull it together, I'm sure. We shall see. But with that, I think we're all done. Thank you guys for watching and allowing us to
sticking with us.
Yeah, just
while
shoot
we
the
raise
breeze.
a little hell every once in a while. Yeah. What?
Yeah. We'll have to.
I said hell. It's okay.
No. I was just thinking maybe next week we'll do a taste test on a treat.
On a gummy?
They are gummy related, but they're not gummy. They're so somebody at work showed me this like weird like gummy thing from Japan, and it's like really bizarre. It's like dafuku muki, and I can't remember what, but it's a rice cake, and it's like a jelly type thing. Maybe I'll bring one in and you can try it. No, it'll be fun. All right, sure. I think we're done. We're really just okay. Hey guys, thank you for watching the Barre Beat podcast. Live from Fly on the Wall Productions. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.